Welcome back. Now, silver has surged to an all-time high, while gold remains firmly supported, boosting confidence across the market. Mining Director at Modern Corporate Solutions, Peter Major, joins us now to dig deeper into the dynamics that have kept silver at reasonably high prices. Peter, thanks so much for your time today. Not metal we usually talk about, but it's been interesting to see the price movements on the back of the rally we've seen when it comes to precious metals in particular. Let's start there. What's been fueling the silver price? Is it just jumping on the back of that rally across precious metals?
It's fun to put silver in perspective because it's just about the only metal that South Africa doesn't have. So we don't usually pay attention to it here. And there's no doubt silver's been in the slipstream of gold. And it was kind of a reluctant precious metal. It was being dragged up by gold until the last month, really. Now it seems to have got retro rockets on its own. So your question's very valid. Why is it being driven now? You know, it's not just gold pulling it up, something else is.
Yeah.
Well, if you go to Citibank and JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, they're the real big players. They tell you demand is now exceeding supply. That sounds like something your economics professor teaches you in the first grade, right?
Yeah.
The price of something goes up when the demand's greater than the supply. But that applies to a lot of metals when they have a run. Because what it means is it's no longer in balance. So for literally the last 40 years, and certainly the last 10, 12 years, the supply balance ratio has been very even. But now with gold shooting up, and people are talking about using it as a currency, like China and many of the Asian central banks, well, they're looking at silver as a currency now too. And there isn't very much stock out there. And so all you need is the investment demand that really turns it around. Yes, there's lots of industrial uses, especially on solar panels, and that's kind of replaced the previous silver demand, which was film and processing film into pictures. And that's just about evaporated with the advent of electronic cameras. But solar panels are taking that up rapidly. And again, it's the investment demand. You know, when gold really moves, it's the investors buying gold. It's not traditional users.
Yes.
It's investors. And the ETFs, they can't get enough silver. This is looking very much like 1980, when there were people who were short silver and they couldn't deliver. And then people were going long silver on futures. And the U.S. Commodity Exchange in Chicago, they ran to Washington, D.C., and they changed the rules to prevent silver from going so crazy. It's kind of acting like that now. Yeah, investment demand, I won't say came out of nowhere, but it's very surprising that it's now come in so strong, and we found out there's not enough stocks out there.
And just on the increased use when it comes to the industrial bit of it, you mentioned solar panels there, but I'm also wondering, what are you seeing when it comes to a use case for EVs as well as AI hardware?
Well, silver is the best conductor of electricity on the planet. Out of all the metals out there, copper is the most widely used, but silver is an even better connector. So if you need maximum efficiency transmitting electricity, you'll go to silver. And because you only need very small amounts in microcircuitry, it probably doesn't matter what the price is. You know, if you have to pay 40 an ounce, 50 an ounce, you only need a small amount. So it's kind of price inelastic. But it's the demand, it's just investor demand that's now coming in for 1 million ounces, 10 million, 20 million, that kind of thing. That's not industrial demand.
Okay. Now, with gold trading at record highs, we've seen some investors betting on silver, some even betting on PGMs. But I'm wondering whether silver genuinely qualifies as a safe haven asset. You've spoken about it in terms of the use case as a currency. But, you know, it's also quite volatile.
It's funny you say that. Do you know what silver's nickname is?
I think devil's...
The devil's metal.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason. It comes out of nowhere. and it runs up and it leaves you short and stranded. And then you race up to buy it. You borrow money from people you shouldn't to buy it up there, and then it races down. So silver is volatile as these rare earth metals. I think it's even more volatile. It's even more volatile than lithium, or what's another good one? Not, oh geez.
We'll leave it at lithium, yes.
Yeah, look, there's a few of them out there.
All right, then before I let you go, do you think this rally is sustainable? I mean, we've just mentioned there that this is commonly known, silver that is commonly known as the devil's metal, known to run up and then drop right after that.
You know, when I saw Bitcoin running and gold trying to keep up with it, and then I read and hear how a lot of these Bitcoin lookalikes, like Ethereum, are converting the Bitcoin value into gold. They're actually buying gold. You know, they're converting all these billions they've made on the coins themselves into metal. I thought, well, boy, that's going to fuel gold forever, because you've got this artificial currency generating money and buying gold. And then silver was in gold slipstream going up just as much.
Yeah.
Now that Bitcoin has come off a lot, I'm wary of gold staying up. And gold's almost back to its all-time highs now. If Bitcoin and gold come down, I'll bet my house silver's going to come down. I don't think it can sustain itself.
Yeah.
No. It's always going to be in the slipstream of gold. And maybe the ratio changes from 90 to 1, 80 to 1. Maybe it goes 70 to 1. But it still is going to follow gold. And if gold turns and goes down like Bitcoin, silver's going to follow more. It's named the devil's metal for a reason, and that's not going to change.
All right, let's leave it there, Peter. Thanks so much for your time and taking us through what's playing out in the metals market. That was Peter Major, Mining Director at Modern Corporate Solutions.